All right, Shalom. First off, I'm going to start out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakudash. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name, Yahweh Shai being the name of His only begotten Son. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walking throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and sincerity. All right, this is the brother Mashah Mayum, one of the men here with the GMS branch out here in the morning camp. Here with another quick lesson through the Spirit, and just going into basically how we are to take this word serious, okay? And it was, once again inspired off of a precept a brother posted, all right, and different brothers, added on precepts to that, and I'm gonna just use some of the precepts the brothers got, and just speak on them, all right, because ultimately, that's plain and simple, all right. We were called to this word, and we are to continue to do the best we can to take it serious. So let's start off with the book of Sirach, chapter 51 and verse 18, and it reads, "For I purpose to do after her," and it's talking about wisdom, "and earnestly I followed that which is good, so shall I not be confounded." Okay, so what it said, earnestly I followed that which is good, right? Now, real quick, let's look up that word earnest, the definition. So it says, earnest in the Google definition, it says, resulting from or showing sincere and intense conviction. Okay? So basically what? Taking this this thing seriously, right? Earnestly, it says with sincere and intense conviction, seriously, all right? And that's how we are to be, all right, when it comes to this word. Okay, now I know sometimes you fall short, but every once in a while it's you got to be reminded, to get back up and keep going and to go harder, right? Let's also get the book of Hebrews, chapter 2, and starting at verse 1, and it reads, "Therefore we ought to give the more earnest heed to the things which we have heard, lest at any time we should let them slip." Okay, and I'm focusing the precepts I want to grab, really focus on that word earnest, because it shows, it basically goes into what, taking it seriously. Okay, rereading it again, it says, "Therefore we ought to give the more earnest heed to the things which we have heard, lest at any time we should let them slip." Okay, and when you go into that word earnest, okay, in this Hebrews in the blue letter, okay, it says what? Matter of fact, let's just do it. This is Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 1, going into that word earnest. It says, the Greek word parasoteros, and it says more abundantly, more in a greater degree, more earnestly, more exceedingly, especially above others. Okay, so your mind has to be more focused on this word more than anything else, and you got to take this put this on the forefront of your mind before anything else you got going on. Okay, all right, so it says exceedingly on the Strong's, exceedingly, more frequent, much more. All right, so what? That's what, continuing to give attention onto this word more than anything. Okay, because ultimately, like it says, right? Let's get 1 Timothy chapter 4. This is 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 16, and it reads, "Take heed unto thyself," right? The more earnest heed, right? "Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee." Okay, so that's why it says to give the more earnest heed, because ultimately what? Taking heed unto this word is how you're going to be saved. Okay, and if you're not taking it serious, right? And once again, I'm saying this because how can I say, giving a balance to it, because every once in a while, this flesh can get desensitized, right? And you might have to be reminded, okay? But ultimately, hey, just not taking your hand off the plow and giving up, okay? Continue to get back up when you where you fall short at, and do better, okay? Taking heed to rebuke, right? But it says, take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee, right? Because ultimately this truth, this word is what's going to give you salvation, okay? Through what? Applying and doing the things that the Lord has said, all right? Because the Lord said what? He that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a man that built his house upon a rock, okay? And the winds blew and the rain came, and it was not moved, okay? From there, let's go to the book of 2 Peter, chapter 1, and starting at verse 10. This is 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 10, and it reads, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure, for if ye do these things, ye shall never fall. All right. So what, you got to give diligence, okay? Because if you give diligence, all right, you're not gonna fall. Basically, you're not gonna fall off. All right. Let's go into this word diligence on this in this precept, right? It says spoudazo, to hasten, make haste, to exert oneself, endeavor, give diligence. Okay, so you got to exert yourself, okay, when it comes to being in this truth. All right. And the Strong's, it says to make effort, be prompt, or earnest. All right. So there you have that word earnest again. Meaning what? Giving your full effort and attention onto it, and not being lazy when it comes to doing the work. Right. From there, let's go to the book of Nehemiah, chapter 4 and verse 6, right? Because ultimately too, your mind, your mind has to be fully attentive upon it, okay? This is Nehemiah chapter 4 and verse 6, and it reads, so built we the wall, and all the wall was joined together unto the half thereof, for the people had a mind to work, okay? And we've been called to what? We've been called to do this work. So if you've been called to it, your mind has to be attentive, okay? And you got to want to do it, right? If you want to do it, then your mind is going to be attentive, and you're going to what? Give heed, okay, and earnest attention upon it, right? For example, you see construction workers, building a house. Their mind is focused upon it because what? They want to they want to do a good job, okay, in order to perfect what they're building, right? Well, it's the same thing when it comes to this word, okay? From there, let's go to the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 22, and it reads, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. Okay? It said be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, right? So you don't want to just hear these things, right, and not actually go and apply them, because if you don't actually apply these things, then you're ultimately deceiving yourself, and you're not getting anything out of it, So, but yeah, I think that's pretty much the point. I just wanted to use those precepts, because those precepts will really show, how we are to be earnest when it comes to this word and give effort, right? But that's the point. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you walking throughout the four corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.